Hi there, Leo. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for July. You can be, of course, the most charismatic member of the zodiac. And once Venus and Mercury move into your sign mid-month, I do feel that the more outward side of your nature and the outgoing part of your personality are really going to pulsate and give you an opportunity to demonstrate to people just what a one-off you are. But in the early parts of this month, there is a lot of energy located in the most discreet, almost cocoon part of your horoscope, the most psychological area. And in fact, the Sun, Mercury and Venus all start July in this sheltered 12th house. Now the Sun's going to be forging a link with Neptune throughout week 1, which can bring out the most compassionate side of your nature. And if there is a good cause or charity that you find inspires you, you could be active behind the scenes, helping them in some kind of way. But between the 5th and the 11th, there is a collision between Pluto and also the Sun, which can be quite challenging. Pluto is the tiny entity. Some people don't even think it's a planet, they think it's an asteroid. But whatever the name of this particular entity is, it's very, very important in astrology. And it's all about change. And for you, it's in a part of your scope that's to do with responsibilities and work. And over the last 7 years, there may be something that's become much more important to you in terms of how you apply your energies. Now Pluto forges a terrific link with Jupiter in the first 2 weeks of this month, which means if you are proactive in what you're trying to do, even work behind the scenes can see you building up something which you can see is tangible and can be growing in a way which is pleasing. But the clash between the Sun and Pluto is much more political, and you may encounter someone who doesn't feel that you're doing it as they would like, and they may oppose you, but they may not oppose you in a direct and obvious way. You could be, in contrast, very much on the end of some political infighting, some gossip, of people maybe whispering behind their hands rather than being upfront and open about how they may feel. Or perhaps you yourself are going to find it much more difficult to continue to sweep underneath the carpet an issue which is really dogging you. Especially if there does seem to be someone who's always very critical of what you're trying to do, or you feel that they're always in some way trying to undermine you. However, once Venus moves into your sign on the 12th, followed by Mercury on the 14th, you really are going to start to move forward in a much more purposeful way. Now both these planets are going to forge great links with Saturn, the planet of structure, which is in your sector of self-expression. Now ordinarily when you put Venus and Saturn together, it makes for a dour old mix. But this suggests your creativity can see you involved in something that's new and emerging but has a real chance of being sustained, or perhaps injecting new energy into something that's ongoing. I have to say, Saturn does continue for the whole of this month to be in conflict with Neptune, and it will be so right through to the middle of October. If you're in a romantic relationship where you have different values, or you clash over finance, or around intimacy, this particular aspect is very, very draining. And along with the clash between the Sun and Pluto, if there are things that are a little bit less edifying in any kind of tie that's close, you may find yourself having to go on the front foot and be much more engaging about them. Fortunately, the arrival of the Sun in your sign on the 22nd is going to give you the physical drive to do so. And also the full moon, which occurs just before then, combines with Mars. And Mars is in your sector of home and family life. And if there does need to be some changes, whether they're physical in terms of where you're living, or perhaps being much more motivated to get a home business working, then that's a great link to go into the Sun moving into your sign, because you're going to find that suddenly your drive to take a greater grip and hold on your life direction is really going to be quite profound. In fact, in the last 3 or 4 days of this month, the Sun is going to be forging a great link with Saturn too. So if you're really clear about your strategy, then this angle with Saturn can help you to put the groundwork down, the roots of something that could really be sustained over the long term. Now Mercury, ironically, moves quickly out of your sign and into Virgo on the very last day of July. But the great news is that could also trigger some kind of financial reward which could please you enormously. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Leo. Good luck and goodbye for now.